Hey, everybody, welcome back to another live show with the Adaptive Athlete Podcast. I'm Matt Hotho. I'm so excited to have you guys with me today. I am live on the Adaptive Athlete YouTube page, the Adaptive Athlete Instagram, and the WheelWOD YouTube page actually today. So some of you may be tuning in wondering, who's this guy and what's he doing? I run a podcast telling the story of adaptive athletes. And during the CrossFit Games coming up in just a couple of days, I'm going to be a part of the media team doing some other fun stuff. So on today's show, I got a lot of fun stuff to tell you guys about. But first, we've got some awesome people watching already. We've got Hope, Logan, Aaron. We've got David watching as well on Instagram. If you guys are watching on YouTube, feel free to comment on YouTube. And then if you're watching on Instagram, just put something in the chat. I'll be checking it throughout the show, making sure that we all stay connected. Here's what we've got going on today over the next hour or so. I'm going to be talking with Kat Crocker of the Adaptive Performance Project, which is a fundraising effort that she's doing. You may have seen a little bit about it on Instagram. And then in the back half of the show, we're going to be talking about media at the Adaptive CrossFit Games and the Teenage CrossFit Games. What you can expect. We've heard about Flow Elite. We've heard that it's not going to be on YouTube. What does that mean for adaptive athletes, for teenage athletes, for divisional athletes, really? We're going to talk about all of it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Kat Crocker to join the stage. Hey, Kat, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you, Matt. It's great to be here.
Thanks. I'm so glad to have you here. We actually just met for the first time. Well, we met at a couple of wheelwide competitions, but actually got to talk for the first time about 10 minutes ago. You were telling me that you're from Denver. You trained at a CrossFit Watchtower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And in your day job, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say I got connected with Kevin back in 2001 doing what's called the at-home National Veterans Summer Sports Clinic, and got connected and started doing adaptive CrossFit classes for veterans there.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're doing adaptive CrossFit classes for veterans. I think you said, sorry if I missed this a moment ago, but you said you're a recreational therapist.
Yes,
And
with
what is
Denver VA. Oh, sorry.
and what is a recreational therapist?
So recreation therapist, my easy explanation for that is we use recreation as our therapy.
Okay.
And goals within that therapy is anything from more of the physical health of increasing that to increasing quality of life, of finding things that you enjoy doing and learning that you can do recreational activities again.
Okay. That's really cool. I can imagine that's really freeing and uplifting for veterans coming out of experiences where they're having to relearn how to be active.
Yes, relearning that, not only the physical piece, but also relearning how to engage in activities that bring them actual like joy to their life. So yes.
hmm So I know in CrossFit we talk a lot about like activities for daily living, ADLs, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
It sounds like what you're doing is even beyond that. Kind of like we're not just going to do functional fitness. We're going to do all kinds of things that can
Yes.
enable you. Yeah.
Yeah, we underneath me as a recreation therapist, we do adaptive CrossFit, we do golfing, we do adaptive cycling, we do pickleball, we do
Oh, come on.
skiing events. Anything recreational that we can figure out how to do in the community, we do it.
Wait, you're telling me I can do pickleball as an adaptive athlete?
Oh gosh, yes. There's wheelchair pickleball. It's amazing.
Come on. Come on. My for some reason my YouTube algorithm got flooded with pickleball, and now every time I turn it on to YouTube TV, it's like a pickleball tournament. There's like one happening every weekend.
Yeah, it's huge. Huge.
I love it. I love it. I did try go and play once with my son. I wasn't too good at it. He's very good at it. So,
There's a lot of rules. So many
yeah.
rules.
And there's a kitchen. I don't even know I'm not allowed to be in the kitchen, I think.
Yeah, you can't play in the kitchen. It's that very first like rectangle area. Yeah, you can't play in it. I don't know. I
That's
don't
funny.
understand.
That's funny. Yeah, I love the name. So we've got Jed Snelson watching on Instagram. Kyle Harper's watching actually while traveling to the US from South Africa. Team Jordan Cabrita is watching. Dan Long is watching. A good crew kind of tuning in on Instagram. So Kat, before we hopped on, you were also telling me that you're actually a part of the adaptive community yourself.
Yes, I was diagnosed with MS in 2005. And as we all know, with diagnoses, no matter what it is a constant thing of figuring out what's next and how to do
hmm
better. And so I found CrossFit with after about 7 years after I was diagnosed. The gym had no idea I had MS. I kind of just went in there, figured it out. And then as time has progressed, learned that it was like, oh, there's adaptive athletes out there doing this. And as a recreation therapist, I'm like, yeah, of course, this is all sorts of modification and scaling. This is like the perfect place for us. And so I have had the amazing opportunity to put my love of recreation therapy and my love of CrossFit together. And not only in my day job, but also in my nonprofit that I've been able to start.
And I love that. So tell us about this nonprofit that you've started, We Are TAP.
Yes. So We Are TAP is just our handle. The name is the Adaptive Performance Project, TAP. So tap into your whatever, your joy, the highest performance, whatever it is that you want to tap into it. Let's tap into it. And so TAP came around because I believe that everybody deserves the opportunity to discover what they are capable of, regardless of how their body moves or what they need to have their body moves. And so that is my drive, and everything that I've already told you about, that is why I believe in all of this. So my diagnosis, my job that I do, it's needed, and we need all of the help and the voice that we can get in our communities.
Yeah. And I think something that that the Adaptive Performance Project is doing that's also really practical and important is the fundraising. And I'm going to put the QR code up right now. If people want to just learn more about it, support it at some point, maybe. I know we're all kind of busy moving towards the CrossFit Games, but
Yes.
even in the off season, to support this initiative that's just kind of trying to raise money to help people do recreational sports, any adaptive athletes, to be able to get more access to those things.
Yes. So this specific fundraiser we started with in collaboration of WheelWOD, knowing because I have an amazing relationship with everybody in WheelWOD, Kevin and Shannon and David and everybody. The need for them to have that support too is like, yes, athlete need it, but so do competitions. And so what a great way to get it out by helping out WheelWOD, like the biggest sport that we have right now. And so right now we are fundraising to help WheelWOD as much as we possibly can in making sure that the athletes at the competitions are getting everything that they deserve. They're getting a safe environment. They're getting a fun environment. They are getting the highest level of people working with them at this environment. And so that is our drive behind this fundraiser and any other fundraiser we do. I think we mentioned is like my dream, my 10-year dream is that, you know, we're doing all sorts of recreational things under TAP. But yeah, right now we're focused on CrossFit and the WheelWOD games and things like that.
That's super exciting. And if anybody's watching on Instagram right now wondering, how do I click a QR code on my phone? I know that's super confusing. On an iPhone, you can actually do a screenshot by pressing your two side buttons together. And then when you save that screenshot, you can then long press on that QR code and it will go to the website. Believe it or not, tech tip, it's a good one.
See, I just learned something right there, I will tell you.
I love it. I love it. Well, will we be seeing you at the Adaptive CrossFit Games?
Absolutely. I will be volunteering again this year under the athlete control. And so hopefully you'll hear me yelling. I am just coming off of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games. That's why I sound like I do right now. But hopefully my voice gets back to 100% before I'm back at the WheelWOD Games, because everybody knows that I lose my voice by the end of that as well, because so much passion and everybody needs to hear positive things and encouragement.
I love that. I love that so much. And yeah, I was thinking about the times that I've seen you, you know, when you compete at these things, you just have little like memories that kind of just pop in every now and then, just little frames.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen you at the check-in table. And then when you said athlete control, I was like, and that's the other place. You know, every athlete remembers that time where it's like you're in the corral, the nerves are setting in a little bit, maybe if it's a workout that you're nervous about, the butterfly there, and you just look up and you'll always remember that face.
Hopefully it's in a positive manner.
It is. Oh, of course.
I am trying to yell at you to tell you where to stand and everything like that while you're trying to get your butterflies, but I am there to cheer you on and make sure that everything is good before you get on that floor.
Yes. Oh, well, Kat, thank you so much for all that you do for WheelWOD, for the adaptive community, for the broader adaptive community as well. And if people want to know more, they can go and check out this QR code above, find out more about the fundraiser, find out more about the adaptive performance project. I always have to catch myself from saying the Adaptive Athlete Podcast.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
So, well,
Well,
when are you coming out to San Jose?
I am flying out early on the 23rd. So I'll
Okay.
get there for the midday registration, and then I will be there through the whole weekend.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, absolutely. And you too.
Anything else you want to say to the community?
Um, get out there and do it. Like, that's all I want to say. Like, just do it. Nike has the
Awesome.
best logo. Just do it. Just get out there.
Awesome, Kat. I love it. All right. Thanks so much for being on the show, and I will see you in San Jose.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Have a great
You're
one.
welcome. Bye. All right. So that was Kat Crocker with the Adaptive Performance Project. QR code's up there if you want to scan it and support that fundraiser or just bookmark it to support at another time. Okay. We're going to do something a little different for a moment. Okay, we're gonna look at the workout that just came out. Not just came out, but you know what I'm saying. That came out the other day, and it was the one that was the 5 minute limit. 5 minute limit. Can we talk about that one, guys? Because that one is one that I would love to do. I believe it started with 50 wall balls. Why not? Let's just see what happens. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this workout clip in time. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, I am. I'm good at this. Nope, I'm not that good at it. I'm not as good as I thought I was. Anyways, let's talk about 5 minute limit. It's 50 wall balls, and then I believe it is. Let's look this one up. Actually, someone effort it for me in the chat, okay? Because I know y'all are watching this thing. Aaron's going full send. Tori Cinch is watching the pod as well. And let's see who efforted that for me. Yo, Kenneth DeLapp. All right, buddy. Awesome, awesome. Oh, I know where this is at. I know where I'm going to find this at. Boop, boop. All right, 5 minute limit. Here we go on the 5 minute limit. Nope, I don't have that one downloaded. Man, guys, I'm really flubbing this. 1 second, I'm going to effort this myself. Here we go. Go into wheelwad.com. Wheelwad. Okay. See, this is the difference when you're not competing. You kind of know the contours of the workouts, but you don't know the whole thing. Yes, 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 yes. I knew there were toes to bar in it, but there aren't for neuromoderate. So it is 50 wall balls, 30 toes to bar, some variation, and then 10 alternating D-ball to shoulder, and then a bear hug carry to the finish. And you got 5 minutes to do that thing. Thank you, Aaron. You knew what was up. Yeah. So basically, it's unbroken or bust on the wall balls. All right. Am I right? I mean, you've just got to like go for it on the wall balls. Make sure that you don't, you know, crash out on those, and but you can't take too many breaks on that. And then into unbroken knee raises or toes to bar or whatever your hanging progression is, to get that D ball up to your shoulder and then bear hug that thing to the finish. That is going to be an amazing workout to watch. I think it is going to be a full send workout. I think it's going to be one of those workouts where everybody is screaming and hollering because that's just an awesome, awesome workout. And then I think I do have the other one as well that just recently came out, which is let's see here, projects, workouts, catalyst, reboot. Nope, reboot's been out. Was it Shark Tank? I think Shark Tank is the one that came out recently. We're going to go with that one. No, it wasn't. It was Alameda. Oh, it was Alameda. And I don't have that one downloaded. That's okay. I got it right here. Alameda was the other one that came out. And that one also looked like fun. It does. Oh, yeah. 50 dubs, 40 hang cleans, 50 dubs, 30 push jerks, 50 dubs, 20 handstand push-ups. That one's also going to be a blast. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about these workouts. If you want to comment or write about it on Instagram, I know that I would be excited to do the double under workout because, well, your boy's been working on his dubs. So that would be a lot of fun. And I think in my division, that one is going to look like, let's see here, in my division for neuromoderate. Yeah, 30 dubs. Okay. Yeah, 30 dubs, 40 hang cleans. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay, guys. Here's my theory, and I should run a poll on this, but I actually want to get your guys' vibe on Instagram. This may not, I don't know how this would work for seated, I guess it wouldn't be a difference. Here's my question. Is it a barbell or is it two moderate loaded, dumbbells? Or is it like they did to us on Double Down last year, where it's one super heavy dumbbell, right? So like normally in my division it'd be a 35-pound dumbbell that you're moving with one arm, but they gave us a 50, and a 50 showed up in the in semis this year too. Like, what if it shows up with something that is super heavy, but there's only one of them, and you really have to manage that fatigue on your arms? That would be interesting. Kyle Harper again thinks this is another warm-up type workout. I don't know, Kyle. We'll see. We'll see. Kyle King is also joining us, and the illustrious Maddie Hotho is also joining us. Guys, I'm stalling a little bit because we've got a couple of friends who are probably going to be joining us from San Jose, actually, who are doing some things over there. So I'm just kind of filling some airspace until they get here. But guys, some of you are probably flying over. Do any of you guys know when you're getting over to San Jose? I'll be getting over on Tuesday night. Kind of would be interested in seeing some people over there, whoever gets over there. I guess I can start talking about what I'll be doing in San Jose while we wait for some other guests to join us. So this has all come together in the last couple of days or so. But I'm going to be doing a desk show in San Jose, which will be fun. So I'll be doing some podcast content around the edges, and then the other kind of fun thing that I'll be doing is a desk show where at like, I don't know when it'll be during the day, but it'll be an opportunity to kind of sit down at a table with me and three other athletes and talk about the day's activities, teenagers or adaptives, and talk about, hey, how'd those workouts go? What did we experience? What was a win? What was a loss? That kind of thing. And so we'll get to experience all of that. Yeah, Aaron, I think you're onto it right there, that there haven't been any dumbbells yet. So that would be interesting. I think it'd be interesting. I think this workout screams dumbbell. I think it'd be great for, yeah, I think this workout just screams dumbbell, especially when it is a, what is the movement described as? Yeah, a hang clean and a shoulder to overhead. Like, well, that's neuromoderate. Let me look at standing diagnose real quick. Yeah, hang clean and a push jerk. Like, I think that is workouts that you just think of with a dumbbell. I think you can do that quickly now. Kyle King gets in Tuesday midday. Kyle Harper's on a plane now, 3 hours to San Francisco. Oh yeah, Kyle, they have said there are 6 workouts, but 7 scored events. One of them is going to be a 2-parter, and I think Tori is spot on that it is a row and the ski workout. I think that one with the burpees is going to be a 2-scored event. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that sometimes when you do a double scored event and they're very similar, like, yeah, a row and a ski are slightly different, but generally that person who is pretty darn good at cardio is going to have an advantage in both of those workouts. Because a burpee is just unforgiving, especially if you have any kind of height, or although I guess you'll make up for the height on the cardio. But if you have any sort of like neuromuscular fatigue, having to get down and up off the ground is like exhausting. So I think that one is going to be, it'll be interesting to see how the scores play out on that one. My hunch is that the top 3 in each of those will be very similar. And I think it'll just be a buffer type workout for whoever is. It was very similar to Resilience Rising last year, where the person who pretty much won the first half of it was able to hang on and stay in first through it. There was not a lot of change happening on the leaderboard between first, second, third, and fourth, between Resilience Rising Part A and Resilience Rising Part B. Yep, Kyle knows, just like last year with the row. And yes, they have said 7 scoring events. By the way, you guys, check your email because there is links to the WhatsApp group to join and things to know about what workouts are coming up, that kind of stuff. When you'll know what order workouts are going in, you won't find that out until your athlete briefing. But they answer a lot of good questions there that'll help you out as well. So let's talk about a couple of things related to media. You've probably seen that the adaptive CrossFit games and the teenage games, actually, I think all the divisional games, masters, adaptive, and teens, will all be on Flow Elite. My initial reaction to that was, problematic in the sense of it's behind a paywall, which I get. Like, a $30 paywall is, can be prohibitive for some people. It can be seen as another thing, just kind of put on top of the pile of things that sometimes it seems to cost to be an adaptive athlete or to be a divisional games athlete. Let's say that, right? Not just make it about being adaptive, but even if you're a teenager, even if you're a master's athlete, things where you have a full-time job and you have expenses and other things that you need to worry about. You're not a full-time athlete where all of your income can just go towards athletic pursuits. So a $30 fee to watch the competition can seem onerous. On the same hand, I think that putting it on Flow Elite does put it in front of people who are subscribed to Flow Elite. Flow Elite is used for a lot of other sports, a lot of other things. And so I think there are pockets of populations that are on Flow Elite that might not be familiar with CrossFit, let alone teenage and adaptive CrossFit, or masters CrossFit for that matter. I mean, especially when you think of people who are 60 and up doing CrossFit, like that's pretty inspirational to watch. Like I used to coach a 90-year-old lady named Jan uh, at a gym I was at back before COVID. And I mean, doing bench press with Jan was insane. I mean, it was a kid's bar, but like watching her like go for it, and like 1 rep max on a bench press at 90 was like crazy. But to see how that activity of daily living kind of helped her, um, you know, be able to walk, be able to be independent in her living, right? It was super cool. So I think that that could be inspiring if people see that as well on Flow Elite. Now, I will say that, that does block us off from what a lot of people would think of as a real value add, which would be something like YouTube, i.e., the world's largest search engine. However, YouTube CrossFit, the YouTube CrossFit ecosystem is really tiny. And like when you think about the fact that like the Wheelwad YouTube page has like maybe 6,000 subscribers, um, and we would be streaming off of that page essentially, maybe Pit Prodigies, but I don't think Pit Prodigies is more than 6,000 either. You actually don't have that many people, that many eyes on your content as you would if you actually do something like Flow, where you have a million subscribers who are already subscribed to that platform, who could be watching it, who could be taking in that content, even if they stumble across it because they're in the app looking for something to do. So that is my kind of take on the whole Flow Elite thing. The good news is, and this was said in the WhatsApp chat, so this is not private information, is that the Flow Elite contract to the content is a 3-month sort of contract, and then it will be on YouTube. So after 3 months after the games, the Flow Elite content will be on YouTube. Let's see here. Tori, do we know when we will get the timetable for when the workouts are? Yes, Tori, we'll get all that during athlete briefings. You should start also getting notifications through Competition Corner once those are updated in the Competition Corner. You should get push notifications via email. Kyle, you're asking a good question. Is Flow Elite available outside the US? If someone on the chat wants to effort that, Kyle King seems to think it should be because it is an online streaming service. I would tend to agree. The other thing I will say, and this is me putting on my AV producer media hat, which is a hat that I don't put on a lot on the podcast, but it is a hat that I can wear pretty confidently, is yes, there have been really, pardon my French, but really shitty streams on Flow Elite. That is not Flow Elite's problem. They are a content delivery network. So they are only as good as what you give them. So it's a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. Okay. So if you've watched like, I don't know, the Legends Del Mar, right? or any one of these, NorCal, I think last year was on Flow, or maybe it wasn't, it was on YouTube, but these guys who are running around with wireless DSLRs trying to like capture content, and their feeds are dropping and their live stream is dropping. That's not a Flow problem. That is an infrastructure at the event problem. Okay. And I can tell you that from the conversations I've actually had, because I'm just curious about this kind of stuff, because it's what I do for my day job, I was asking like Wheelwad, like, what is your backhaul like, at events like this? And the amount of money they paid for internet in Vegas was insane. To be able to have a good enough internet connection to know that that stream wouldn't drop was insane. And so to think that they're going to we know, like, they've proven that they'll put in that same effort. And so we know that once it gets to Flow, all Flow has to do is just get it out there. It's not going to be a bad feed. It's going to be the same quality feed we've seen years past, just through a CDN that is, yes, behind a paywall, but also enables it to get to actually more captive people, potentially. So I realize that potentially is doing a lot of work there, but we'll see. Aaron says, athletes have complained for years that we don't get the same experience as the rest of the CrossFit Games. We now have what we wanted. Part of that is professionalism of how it's broadcasted. Aaron, I really like that perspective. I do think you're right. I think our content on Flow will be sitting right next to elite CrossFit content. When it was on YouTube, it actually wasn't, right? It was coming down Wheelwad's page, and it wasn't on CrossFit's page. CrossFit sometimes ran a couple of little like teaser videos and that kind of thing. But I think you got a good point there, Aaron. I think we are getting some of that professionalism that we wanted. Tori, so we won't know when we're needed throughout the 3 days until the athletes briefing. Yeah, no, Tori, no worries about the questions. This will be the start of many, many, many questions. I'm just telling you in this journey. I remember my first year, there were so many questions. Yeah, you won't know the flow until usually until the day before. So it makes that was my kind of, not to bring up old things, but that was my sort of initial ick with the idea of wanting full access to the able-bodied games. Was all well and good, but you're not going to have a schedule to plan around until the day before. And then if you're realizing that your schedule conflicts with something that you really want to see at the able-bodied games, I really hope you choose your competition, and don't go over to that thing. So without rehashing all that again, the scheduling thing and the way that our schedules are known in these competitions is part of that complexity that I think impacts, what people have wanted at these games. So yeah, I like what Kyle said. Be available 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. each and every day. I think Sunday you could be available. Well, Sunday will be podiums. So Tori, you should probably be available for podiums, Tori. I'm just going to say that right now. So let's see. What else do I want to say about media stuff? Okay, right. So something that is a little different this year because of the contract with Flow Elite. I'm calling it the Corin Pepper clause. If you watched Legends Del Mar at all, there was a little bit of drama because the live stream for that was not very good. It was wireless cameras that were dropping on a regular basis, and the internet feed was dropping. A lot of things were going sideways on it. And Corinne Pepper just went, well, I'm just gonna live stream my husband doing his heats, and she was getting content that was better than what sometimes was better than what the paid crew was actually doing. And it caused some consternation and some drama because wait a second, that's not fair. Like, well, it's not appropriate. When you pay somebody to cover an event and you are ticketed into that event, part of being ticketed into that event is agreeing to certain things that are the desires of that event, the rules of that event. And so at our event this year, there is going to be a rule that you cannot live stream any portion of a workout for more than 30 seconds of an individual workout. So even me, as I'm collecting content throughout the day to do on the desk show, I've got to be conscientious of the fact that, if Austin Roth rips off something super cool and neuromoderate and it goes 45 seconds, I can only show like 25 to 30 seconds of that. So, right, you have to be aware that as you're posting things on your social media, um, you will get a warning if you start live streaming from there. So just be aware of that. I know that might sound like, why are we slapping people's wrists? Why are we not allowing just, isn't this the land of the home and the free? Well, yes, but there are also rules. So you have to, you cannot live stream something for more than 30 seconds. You will get a warning, and after your second warning, your ticket will get revoked. So that's good to know about that, and they will be monitoring social media for that as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't capture at the event. That's different. Your mom can film that whole workout that you do so that you can have it to review, to celebrate with, to do whatever with, to make a reel down the road, that kind of thing. But you cannot live stream an event for more than 30 seconds, and you cannot create a reel that includes more than 30 seconds of a workout in it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that is helpful. The Real Forrest Gump. Yeah, sure. I'd take another para runner on the podcast, The Real Forrest Gump. I want to know more about that. That sounds like a good starting story. Yeah, definitely. And then Jocelyn Casker joined. Jocelyn, welcome to the podcast. Glad you're here with us. Um, I am still stalling a little bit, waiting for a couple of people to show up who are over in San Jose that I was really hoping to have a conversation with today. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to give it about another 5 minutes before I know you all have things to do, like train or pack or do things like that. Tell you what, I love doing this for the rookies that are in the chat or will watch this later. If there is anything that you realized, people who've gone here multiple years that are like, oh man, I packed that and it made a huge difference for me. Let me know. Put that in the chat or put that in the comments and we'll talk about it. My first year when I was in Raleigh, North Carolina for the 2023 Wheelwatt Games, I remember finding a Reddit post where this guy was just like, CrossFit competitions are ridiculous because, you're really only working out for like an hour a day, but you're sitting around for like 6 hours. What do you do to not go crazy? How do you pack? What do you bring? What's a hack? What's something that like if you bring it, it makes a big difference? And someone went slippers. And I was like, oh shit, like that's a great idea. Which led to an iconic moment that I will tell you about now. So I brought these slippers to said event, and I was like, it was my first year. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna wear them when I'm not working out. And so I'm like walking around the venue, the expo hall, just in my slippers the whole first day, like just like whatever, like I'll put on my shoes before I warm up. One time I did forget to put my shoes on when I walked up to the warm up area, and my coach is like, hop on this rower and start rowing, and I just hopping in my slippers. He goes, that's not gonna work. So he went and grabbed my shoes. But we had to do a deadlift one day, and it was a 3 rep max deadlift. And oh, guys, this is actually right beside me, so it's super funny. I saved this sheet of paper. This is my coach's notes as we were doing the 3 rep max deadlift on what everybody was lifting. And the crazy thing is that 305 next to my name with a question mark. I think my previous 1 rep max deadlift was like 255 or something like that. Yeah, we came out at 245. We hit 275. And then I remember looking at my coach and just going, 305. And he was like, I don't know. You can find that video on Instagram. It was so hype. And my friend Nick was out on the floor with me because you could have somebody to change your weights. And so, oh, that was a good moment. But the thing that was super funny about that was George Simmons Goodings, who I had just met, comes up to me and goes, hey, can I use your slippers for the deadlift workout? He wanted like a super flat shoe for deadlifting, of course. And I guess he didn't have one with him. You know what it was? He said, I usually deadlift barefoot and they won't let me deadlift barefoot. And so he said, so the next best thing would be your slippers. And before my coach could stop me, I go, of course you can use my slippers, George. And then my coach is like, we got to work on your mindset, man. You can't be giving your opponents, the things that'll help them succeed. But oh man, that was a fun moment. Uh, yeah, Jocelyn, I kind of hold on one second. Where are we at here? Uh, yeah. Is a video call a live stream? Okay, Kyle, you're asking a tough question there. I don't know. I mean, you could probably keep a FaceTime call open the whole time. I think you're not publicly putting it out there, but I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, I'm not gonna. I would. Yeah, sure. Jocelyn, have they shared that info about not streaming anywhere? They have. It's in the athlete WhatsApp group. So the only reason I know about this is because people are sharing me what's happening in that adaptive athlete WhatsApp group. But I'm not in that group. Uh, I don't think you're in that group, Jocelyn, because you're not competing this year either. But that has been shared through the adaptive athlete WhatsApp group, which if you're not in that adaptive athlete WhatsApp group and you are competing, you need to check your email for that WhatsApp link to join. Um, the real Forrest Gump is a T38 like Leo Merle. Hey, okay, you were supposed to run Tokyo but couldn't because of COVID. Wow. Okay. All right, real Forrest Gump. We'll have you on. We'll do it. Okay, Kyle King is bringing his backpacking chair to sit in and Theragun. I love that. I love that. The Theragun and the backpacking chair. Yeah, I do wish I'd brought a chair every year. Every year, I wish I'd brought a chair. Um, yeah, yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. Okay, so some of the people that I was hoping to come on who may not get on here after all, we'll see. Cowboy Dave is currently over in San Jose. If you've been following his social, you can follow him. Let me see what his handle is real quick, just so I'm not giving you guys bad information here. Cowboy Dave. Is it Cowboy Dave? I don't think it's Cowboy Dave. We shall see. We shall see. It is Coach Cowboy Dave. That is what it is. So you can follow at Coach Cowboy Dave on Instagram, and he'll tell you all about, what he's doing in San Jose, the load in, how all that's going. And then the other people that might hop on the call, might not, are members of the teen and masters media team, because like I said just a couple of days ago, I kind of figured out kind of what I'm going to be doing. I got into the media group, got talking to people, and it's just a lot of excitement. Like, I know you guys like are nervous, and I know sometimes there's feelings of like, oh man, like we get treated like less than, or that kind of thing. We don't get all the stuff that the elites get, that kind of thing. I'm telling you, there are people here volunteering their time to like put on really good media for you guys, like doing the work behind the scenes to know your stories, to know your bios, to do all that. And I just think that is really cool. And so I was hoping to have a couple of them on as well to share a little bit more about the work they are doing behind the scenes. So while we're waiting for them, I wanted to share with you guys something else that that is cool and is going on, and that's two events. So the first is the Adaptive Climbers Fest. It's going to be October 15th to 18th in Bettyville, Kentucky. I will be going. I will be going with my friend Aaron Trent, and we will be climbing. It'll be my first time ever climbing outdoors, actually. But it's the Adaptive Climbers Fest. It's put on by some paraclimbers who started it, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. Mo Beck is one of the paraclimbers who started it. Nat Farrell is another one. And you can register here using that QR code. Let me take the banner down now because I think the banner is blocking it on Instagram. Boop, there you go. You can register via that QR code for the Adaptive Climbers Fest. Again, that is October 15th to the 18th in Bettyville, Kentucky. And so if anybody wants to come out to that, I'll be there. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think finding ways for this community to get together in the off season is going to be huge as we continue to try and grow this thing. So that, like, I mean, imagine if there's like, I think 150 people can go to this event. Adaptives. This is an adaptive only event. You can still bring a caregiver and a plus one that is non-adaptive, but it's only adaptives who are climbing, who are getting the training, who are getting that kind of thing. Also, what's really cool about this is outdoors, it's camping. They'll provide all the camping gear if you let them know ahead of time, and they provide all the meals too. So actually, like, the cost is pretty great for it. But how cool would it be in the off season if there's an event like this? And not that like CrossFitters show up and like take it over, and all of a sudden we're like, I don't know, doing Murph, like, out at this mountain or something like that. But what if we show up and we're genuinely pretty good at rock climbing because we're generally prepared for a lot of things through our general preparedness program that is functional fitness. What if we show up and we start doing that and then people start asking questions? And we're growing the adaptive CrossFit community because we're also going into other spaces and getting to know them and know what they do that's different and distinct and all that kind of stuff. So Adaptive Climber Fest in Kentucky in October. I'll be there. The other one was brought to me by Liana Gerber from Canada, and it is this. It is Adaptive Adventures, a 6-day, I believe it's a whitewater rafting trip, a 6-day rafting trip in Nass River, British Columbia. Uh, Sounds absolutely amazing. From what I hear, it's got scholarships and like you should be able to cover a lot of your expenses with that. But I'm going to put a QR code up momentarily for that one as well, because I just think that's such a cool opportunity too to like, do adventure sports with other adaptive athletes. And get to just have those experiences, man. Like, this is something I would definitely do in the future, because I remember I have fond memories of whitewater rafting as a youth. Some of the coolest stuff I got to do. So here's the link for that adaptive wilderness opportunity. And again, I'm going to pull that banner off so that you can see it on Instagram. Boop, there you go. So if you scan that QR code, again, you can screenshot on your phone and long press that QR code to see more about the Adaptive Wilderness Adventure. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. The Real Forrest Gump will be running at the Para 1500 on Saturday at the National Championship in New York. Stop it, dude. Okay. A week from today. Okay. All right. I'll make a note of that. That's awesome. I mean, many of us here will be deep in the games. That'll be moving day at the games. We still don't know what events are going to be when. Julia, yeah, it's 2026. Thank you, Jocelyn. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Bailey Hooper joined the chat. Kyle King, they've already had about a week's worth of work in to get ready for the 3 days we'll be there. That's right. These people work very, very hard to make all of this happen, which is super, super cool. Okay, so those are the two really cool things that are going on outside of the season. Once the season ends in just 8 days, which is actually pretty crazy to think about. This season is ending super early. Like, what's crazy is when I started in 23, the games were after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving. The next year they were September. The year after that they were September, and now they're in the end of July. It's just so compressed now, which gives us more of an off season. So be on the lookout for things like the Community Cup, like other opportunities to not only do CrossFitty things, but like I just shared, to do adventure sports, adaptive climbing, all that kind of stuff. Because just like we say in CrossFit, right? We should learn and play new sports. Whitewater rafting's a sport. Climbing is a sport. As my friend Noah Cook said on the last episode of the podcast that he was on, goalball is also a sport, where he described it as it's like bowling, but the pins are people. Guys, if you haven't listened to that episode with Noah Cook, he killed it. I can't wait to meet that guy in real life. Speaking of fun episodes, we had an episode come out this past week with Emma Hood. She's also a vision athlete. Her motto for this season and for the games is high vibes, low vision. I love that. She also does window washing with low vision, which is really fun. And we talk about that in the podcast as well. And then a really poignant, I think, and important podcast episode is coming out on Tuesday, and that's with Sue Jordan from South Africa. So I'll talk about this momentarily, or for a moment here. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Yeah. So the thing I want to talk about when it comes to Sue Jordan and other South African athletes is it kind of brings it full circle back to the work that Kat is doing with We Are Tap and with the Adaptive Performance Project, and that's that this sport that we do, any really para sport and adaptive sport that's done on an international level, is just really, really expensive. And there are a lot of barriers in place for people who are not from first world countries. Like, I'm just going to say it like that. Like, I know I was just talking to Abby Wynn Jones. She's like, yeah, I'm flying over on Monday. You know, I've talked to a couple of people who are flying in from Europe. No problem at all. Well, for our friends from South Africa, it's a completely different story. Roman, who was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, his visa got denied. So he's not coming to the games. Tafiq, who was also in Roman's division, his visa got denied. So he's not coming to the games. Sue, she had some classification kind of issues. I think she her and Wilwad kind of need to sort that out a little bit and kind of figure out what category she should be in the process that we currently have. But it's expensive. She couldn't afford to make it to the US this year to compete. And it's really unfortunate because yes, we're crowning the fittest, and yes, your medals still matter at the end of the weekend, but gosh, it would have been cool to see some of these people throw down, right? Throw down with, like Roman. Roman was ready to go up against Tom and Aaron. Tom, Aaron, well, I can't think of the second place person for some reason right now. Russ, there we go, Russ. Tom, Russ, Aaron. He was ready to go up against you guys, and just to find out that, like, that's not possible for him this year, So I think it's important to raise stories like that from athletes who compete really hard, work really hard, and because it's just hard to make it here for certain athletes, we need to also be telling those stories as well, so that we start working on solutions to those problems. So I'm definitely going to miss seeing Roman at the games. I know there are other people in the chat right now who are going to miss seeing Roman at the games as well. Checking in on the chat, Esther is joining us. Real Forrest Gump. I grew up in leg braces and broke out of them. So shut up. Seriously? Okay, sorry, I need to read that whole thing for people on Instagram. Forrest said, I grew up in leg braces and broke out of them similar to Forrest Gump. That's behind my handle/nickname. Wow, that is wild. Yeah, okay, so Kyle, you actually enjoy the shorter season, less conflicts with the Special Olympics. I like that. Forrest, good to know that Leo is running with you guys, and Candace Arnon is watching us on Instagram as well. Julia, yeah, it would be cool to see swimming come up again in a future year. I think the biggest problem is whatever swimming we have to do would be offsite. That's another rental fee. That's another, we didn't live stream when we did the swim in 23, but it's a rental fee offsite. It's transporting people offsite. It's holding people offsite. It's taking everything offsite, right? And then getting it back on site after you do a swim event. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. I would love to swim more. Like, I would love to have that be tested because it's something I'm good at, I think, is actually what I think about with that. But realistically, I think logistically, it's just a really, really hard thing to pull off. Let's see. Let's go here. So if you haven't gotten your Adaptive Games tickets yet, that's the place to get them. You can go there, scan that, and get your Adaptive Games tickets so that people who are joining with you can watch and can spectate. And yes, they are more expensive than years past. I think that's the awkward flip side of we want the elite experience as well. you can't have the elite experience and not pay for it too. So it's just kind of it's tough, right? But hopefully, you'll be able to afford to have your family come and watch you. And kids under 12 are free, so that should help offset the cost for people who have young kids, that kind of thing as well. So that's where you can get your games tickets. And like Tori was asking, when do heats come out? Heats will come out on Competition Corner, and all that information will be emailed to you. It'll be pretty similar to actually how, like, when workouts drop on Competition Corner, you get that email, like during the open and during semis. It's very similar to that. You get an email that talks about heat times. Guys, I got one other thing I want to talk to you guys about, and that is the new WheelWOD website. Come on now. Have you gone to wheelwod.com lately? Let me see if I can share this. We're going to pop this guy out. And I just want to say, I don't think I'm going to be able to actually share from Safari. Well, we will find out. Share screen, share a window. Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Where are we at here? Boop. Okay, guys, can you see this? Like, how good is that? I mean, Bailey is just amazing, but like, athletes front and center, explore the games, become a member. Okay, did you guys catch that? Like, there's an athlete directory. So you can search by name. Now, it's only athletes who are there in 26, whatever. Matt Hotho's not there. It's fine. But you can manage that profile for yourself. And you could do something like, I don't know, add an interview that you had with a certain podcast host. Maybe. I don't know. Add that to your profile. Add a picture. You can go there and start doing that kind of stuff to start making that happen, which is really, really cool. So some other things, the journal is where they're going to be posting articles and things that are educational based around adaptive functional fitness, movements and movement standards. They're going to start storing some of that stuff here, hopefully, so that we're not having to always go, what is that standard again for a box get over? Spoiler alert, both feet have to touch the top of the box. And that is a box get over. What are the standards for a burpee? Workout library. And so there will be other workouts there, which actually I think the workout library could be one of the most powerful things. It's like Aaron was saying, he discovered adaptive CrossFit by watching YouTube. I discovered adaptive CrossFit a little bit more by like Googling workouts, adaptive workouts, and finding workouts that worked for me. And this workout library would be an opportunity for athletes to go, well, wait a second, I want to get some intensity or figure out how I scale Fran or do something like that. And they can go to a workout library and check out that kind of stuff. Right, Esther? It is pretty amazing. Kyle, it's really awesome. Tom Miazga joined the chat. Tom Miazga, welcome. Welcome to the show, my man. I'm excited to watch you throw down in San Jose. Congratulations on the World Championship in High Rocks and the recent interview you did with Alec in Adaptive Training Academy. That was really cool too. So Tom is with us, and yeah, Kyle, we'll see about Kyle King. We'll see about handing out a cut of the pie to the elites. I mean, I think something that is cool that's happening this year, and I think you might have seen it from Valides. Vowels are hard. Vowels are hard in any language, guys. One thing that was really cool from Valides is they are doing, I guess, like some sort of a bonus or something like that for all divisions based upon certain workouts. I have no idea how that's going to work. I don't know anything about that. If I did, I probably couldn't tell you. But that's something to keep an eye on. And if I do find out more about it, and I can tell you about it, I'll be the first to tell you about it, okay? I'm all about getting correct information out into the community to help people make good decisions and know what's going on. So let's go back to that WheelWOD page again real quick, though, because I think there's one other thing there that is super cool. Oh, snap. I like that view better. Okay. Adaptive games. So this is where you can find out everything about adaptives. Oh, Amy Bream is crushing it. Yes, there is some, this is still kind of a starting website in a little bit, so they got to fill some stuff in. They will have a ton of stuff to fill in once we get done with the games too. They're going to get a ton of media. But yeah, and then this is your watch live link. This, I think, takes you right now to the WheelWOD YouTube page, if I'm not mistaken. No, it takes you to Flow Elite. Okay, cool. So it takes you right to Flow Elite where you can register for that as well. So you can register to watch the Adaptive CrossFit Games Masters. and the Teenage Adaptive CrossFit Games. Now, real quick, this Flow Elite $30, that gets you access to everything. Okay. So that's the other thing too, is you're not paying $30 just to watch just to watch back to me. You're not paying $30 just to watch adaptive. That $30 gets you access to adaptives. It gets you access to masters. It gets you access to elite. Okay. $30 a month to see everything. I don't think that's so bad. Like, yeah, it used to be free on YouTube. I get it. I get it. That's a viable argument. I'm not saying that you're wrong to think that like this is worthy of pay $30. And $30 isn't that bad of a price for to be able to see everything over the weekend. Um, do. Here's a life hack for you. The minute you subscribe to that subscription, put a reminder in your phone to cancel that subscription 20 days later. Because that's no fun when you get that ding on your bank account that you're like, I don't Flow Elite again. I don't want to be Flow Elite. So in fact, you could probably sign up and then cancel, and it will automatically say, yeah, okay, you still have access for the next 30 days or something like that. So if you kind of budget like I do, you just want to make sure that you're not going to have a random charge hit your account. Sign up and then cancel, or find something you like on there and watch more in later. So thank you, Kyle. English is a hard language. Okay, guys, looking like it is just me, I am running short on things to talk about. So, guys, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you I'm excited for San Jose. I am excited to see everybody. I was really, really excited last year because of the podcast. Um, but like I was also nervous because of the competing. And this year I don't have any of the nerves. Like it's real nice. It's real nice. I just get to wear athlete t-shirts. Victor, what's up? And walk around. Well, actually I probably have to wear a media shirt. So maybe I won't be rocking Victor. I'll see if I can rock some athlete shirts at certain points throughout the week. But I'm excited to just be walking around, talking to you guys, handing out stickers, right? Like I'm excited to be seeing you all and to really, really, really be able to dial in on watching you guys compete. I've never had the privilege to do that, right? Like as a competitor, every year I've gone, my brain, like you want to talk about a slice of the pie, Kyle King, a large slice of the pie that is my brain had been devoted to how's my body feel? What's next? What's my strategy for this next workout? What do I need to eat? What do I need to do? How do I need to prepare? Right? This year, I don't have to worry about any of that. This year, I can just focus on watching you guys compete. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, I've never seen Austin Roth work out. I've never seen George Simmons Gooding work out. I've never seen, Kyle Harper work out. Like, ironically, I've actually seen Dan Long work out, who's in my division this year. But like, the guys who are in my division every year, I've never actually gotten to see them, watch them compete against each other because I'm always watching myself or kind of glancing over to look at them. So I'm just really excited to see that happen this year. And I think I'm reminding myself, I say this often. I said this at the 23 games. I did a lot of mental work ahead of those games. And some of you know about that mental work. Haley Kuhn, I sent her the book that actually helped me kind of get that mental work kind of dialed in. But it was just reframing every opportunity, everything that happens on the competition floor. And one of those things I had to reframe was loss. And that happened to me at the worst time, actually. The worst time on the final day on a movement that just got me and got me good. And I remember being really sad and defeated and playing back the tape in my head that was like, well, you've just been disabled your whole life. Like, of course, this is how things go. You're a disabled kid. Like, you're never going to get what you want. You're never going to get to experience winning the podium, anything like that. Like, don't you know, weren't you so silly to think that like you could actually achieve that, right? Like that's what my brain was telling me. And I walked outside. Oh, mind you, it's December in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was beautiful in terms of the temperature. Can I just tell you guys, can we go back to December? I go back to December all the time. Oh, sorry, Swifties. Anyways, focus, Matt. Okay, so it's December in Raleigh, and I'm outside and I'm walking, and my sister's with me because we've been actually like vlogging after every workout. And this whole weekend it had just been so much excitement. So I'm like, I started in first, dropped down to second, but I was holding hard in third. Like, oh my gosh, my first games, I'm gonna get third. And this workout finishes, and it's like the podium's gone. You've lost the podium after this workout. And we go outside, and we're recording a video, and I'm getting really emotional because what I wanted to do more than anything was just sit in my shit and like let those tapes win, right? That say your whole life has been like this and it's going to be like this and there's nothing different. And instead, one thing that this book had said about reframing loss is remembering that it's all a gift. Remembering that the opportunity to compete is itself a gift. And yes, there are boundaries around that, right? Like that doesn't mean that you don't put your all into it. That doesn't mean that you don't, work really, really, really hard. That doesn't mean you just take it lightly because it's just a gift. That doesn't mean to look at it as less than something. It means to look at it though, like, what a blessing, if that's your language that you like to use. What a blessing, what an opportunity it is to get to do this. So that reframed it big for me after my first games. And so that's always been something I've carried with me whenever I've competed. This is a gift. Getting to do this is a gift. If you told 6-year-old Matt that he would get to do something like this one day, he wouldn't have believed you, right? He would have been sitting there uh, in a Z or a W crisscross, a W like sitting pattern. Anybody with CP as a kid knows what that means. Your legs just sat super weird. You were hypermobile in your hips, but it was all tightening up and it didn't feel good. 6-year-old Matt could not have believed this was possible. So when I go to San Jose in just a couple of days, I'm going to be remembering that this is all a gift. And so as you go to San Jose, especially you competitors going to San Jose in a couple of days, I want you all to remember that this is all a gift, right? Getting to have this floor to compete on, these floors, these volunteers that are coming out to give of their time so that you can do this. These vendors, these media people, everybody is gifting you something. And this opportunity that you have to go out and to perform and to let somebody else have the opportunity to see you overcome your disability, your adaptation, and know that for them, it might be possible. That is a gift. The whole thing is a gift. Getting to do this podcast that I started 18 months ago on a whim and it's grown into this, that's a gift. Like getting to share this with you guys, it's a gift. So when you get to San Jose, if there's any nerves, if there's any fear, if there's any stress, like Jed Snelson would say, it's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's good to know that you have that. It's not a bad thing. And at the same time, you can feel all those things and remember that this is a gift. So that was the hour with Matt Hotho talking about his feelings and things like that. Let's wrap up here. So we're gonna wrap on that. That's kind of the last thing I just want to leave you guys with, okay? This is all a gift. So as we get ready to head out of here, Adaptive Climbing Fest coming up after the games, but I'll talk about that more after the games. The biggest way that you can follow during the games, if you're an athlete, just follow the Adaptive Athlete Pod. I'll be doing interviews. I'll be talking to y'all, that kind of thing. If you've got friends who aren't competing, who are watching from afar, get them to sign up for Flow Elite. Get them to sign up for Flow Elite. Follow the Adaptive Athlete Pod, follow WheelWOD, follow Pit Prodigies is the teens side of it. They'll also be putting out content. All right. Look for the live shows to be going out on the Adaptive Athlete Podcast YouTube page. So if you're not a subscriber on the YouTube page, subscribe there and you can follow along with all of that. That's how we'll be doing the desk shows, and then everything else will be going out on my Instagram. And I think that's all I need to tell you guys about. So as you get ready to go to San Jose, have some fun, pack everything that you need, and get ready to have a great time. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks, you guys, for being on this show. It is a privilege to get to be a part of this community and to provide this service to you all. I'll see y'all next time. Actually, I'll see y'all in San Jose. All right, bye.